Hey guys, my name is Martin Perdomo. I'm the elite strategist, and today I want to talk to you about the four fundamental principles of real estate investing. And before I get started, I want to go into the importance of you understanding that real estate investing is this, okay? Let me write it down so I can make it clear to you. Real estate investing is 80% mindset plus 20% skill set equals 100% success. Okay, so what do I mean by this? 80% mindset, 20% skill set equals 100% success. What do I mean by this? And the best illustration I can give you is the story of these two shoe salesmen that go to this remote island to sell shoes. Okay, and the story goes like this. There's these two shoe salesmen, ladies and gentlemen, two shoe salesmen, and they work for different companies. They're both sent to this remote island to sell shoes. This island is so remote that in order for them to get there, they got to get on a boat, they got to take a plane, they got to take a boat, and to get to this island. And when they get to this island, right, they're both walking on the sand, and you know how that feels like when you're walking on the sand and the sand goes between your feet, right? They get that feeling, and they smell this smell, and it's the smell of this great food. They're in this beautiful island with beautiful people, and they both look around and they realize one thing. No one on the island is wearing shoes. No one on the island is wearing shoes. So go figure, two shoe salesmen in an island, there to sell shoes, no one's selling shoes, right? Well, one of these guys, when they see this thing, one of these guys, they get this feeling, right? And the other one gets this feeling as well, a different feeling. They both go up to their hotel rooms and they go to their rooms. And when they finally get to their room, the first guy, he picks up the phone, the first guy that got this one feeling, he picks up the phone and he calls his boss and he says, hey boss, can you please put me on I'm on the first flight back home tomorrow morning. Can you believe no one on this island is wearing shoes? I'm out of here, I'm done, I'm not staying here. No one here is wearing shoes. The second guy, on the other hand, he picks up the phone and he calls his boss and he says, hey boss, guess what? No one on this island is wearing shoes, and I'm gonna put shoes in every single person in this island. Mail me tomorrow 10,000 pairs of shoes, because I'm gonna put shoes in everyone in this island. Two people, same circumstances, different mindset. Right? So I want you to understand that this game, real estate investing, is 80% mindset, 20% skill set equals 100% success. When I'm going to share the information I'm going to share with you in just a moment, I want you to pay attention as to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's happening, what's the conversation you're having in your head around the strategies I'm going to show you. So here I go. I'm going to show you the four fundamental principles. Let me show you the four lowest hanging fruits to get started in real estate investing, okay guys? And I'm going to start with number one. Number one is you can start as a real estate investor doing this one. Okay, you can become a wholesaler. What is a wholesaler? A wholesaler goes out and he markets, he finds off-market deals, whether through his own efforts or through a real estate agent, right? He finds off-market deals and he then sells it to flippers. So here's how that works. A wholesaler will go out, find an off-market deal with a distressed seller. So, right? So someone that's going in foreclosure, someone inherited a property they didn't want, and so they market to these people, and you know who these guys are. You've seen them you've seen their sign, you've seen the bandit signs, we buy houses cash. Those are usually wholesalers, right? So someone calls them, they negotiate a deal, and they put a clause in the contract that's called, they make it an assignable contract. Assignable, I don't know if I'm writing that right. Assignable contract, okay? So they make it an assignment. A wholesaler, they're also known as is also known as an assignment of contract. So they make this contract assignable. What that does is they put a clause in the contract when they go into contract with the seller that says that they have the right to assign their rights of that contract to another investor. Right? That's a wholesaler. A wholesaler also, he charges a fee. So a wholesaler, once he finds that contract, he puts it on the contract, he puts this clause in there, this assignable, he makes it an assignable contract. They, on average, a wholesaler typically makes on average between $2,500 per assignment to $5,000. Again, guys, this is national averages. This is how you get started, okay? And if you want to learn more on how to become a wholesaler, this is the first step, right? If you want to learn more how to become a wholesaler, you can go to check out my website, Stroudsburg REI, which is my investors club. I also host an investors club where I train and educate, and I bring speakers and different type of people to train investors. But if you go to StroudsburgREI.com, you will find that I have an online course that you can learn how to do this, okay? So that's what a wholesaler does. The next step, okay, that's how wholesaling works. The next step up is a flipper. So what's a flipper? A flipper finds deals. Where do flippers find deals? Flippers find deals either from wholesalers. So a wholesaler will sell a deal to a flipper, right? A flipper, right, finds deals, buys deals from wholesalers or realtor, buys deals from wholesaler or realtor, okay? These are the people you need to have on your team. And then they hire a team. They hire a team to rehab, and they bring a realtor on. The realtor is the one that tells them what their after repair value is. The average flipper makes about, the average flip in the United States in 2019 made $60,000 in profit. Okay, guys, I want you to pay attention to something. A wholesaler makes between $2,500 and $5,000 per every time they flip. So basically, these guys are flipping a contract. So let me give an example. I go and I find a property, a distressed seller, and I put that property on the contract for 50 grand. They inherit a property. The property is falling apart, whatever. 50 grand. I go and I turn around and I say, hey, flipper, I'm gonna sell. I got this contract because I'm selling a piece of paper. I'm selling you my rights to this contract for $5,000. 55, so you're gonna be all in at 55,000. You guys got that? So this guy's gonna be all in at 55,000, but this guy has no risk. Very little risk, so very little reward. This guy, on the other hand, is saying, okay, I'm gonna buy it for 55,000. How much do I have to put in, right? Because they need to hire a team to rehab the property. They need to get a realtor to give them what the ARV is. So the ARV is after repair value. They need to hire the realtor. The realtor tells them, listen, if you do this, you do this, you do that, you will be able to sell this property for $180,000. So they got 60 grand plus closing costs, plus holding costs, whatever their average is gonna be. The average in the United States in 2019 was $60,000 in profits. Is that good or good? So you're seeing, but this guy has all the risk. If the market turns on him, he's eating that. That guy is paying everything. He's paying the taxes, he's paying the insurance, he's got all the risk. Therefore, higher reward, right? This guy, lower risk, lower money, but if you do volume, this is real good. This is a great place to start, to get started as an investor and keep moving up the food chain, okay? Number 3 is going to be my favorite. And this is where real wealth is created, okay, guys? Buy and hold. And by the way, if you want to learn how to do flipping, you just go to StroudsburgREI.com, which is my group. Check up upcoming events. I host different seminars where I actually teach how to do a proper rehab evaluation. You can come to my monthly meetups. They're about an hour, 2 hours a month, and we bring speakers, come network with us, and You also want to, one important part of all of this is you need to surround yourself with the right people that have done this and that can mentor you and can coach you. I also have a coaching program. You can just email me or call me and I'll give you that information later. Okay, so number 3 is your buy and hold. This is my favorite because here is where this is created. Wealth. This is where wealth is created, right here in the buy and hold, all right? This is where wealth is created. So people that invest for buy and hold, so that's when you buy a property, you hold it, and you cash flow on the property. So you have ongoing cash flow, ongoing cash flow. One thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, we will all always need a place to live. Yes, I'm gonna share a quick story with you. So in 2007, I bought my first investment. And when I bought my first investment, it was a hot market, similar to what it is today. And everyone was buying. I was in the mortgage business. Everyone was buying, and I had this scarcity mindset. So remember, we talked about mindset, 80% mindset. I wanted to buy because I had everyone knows that real estate, 90% of millionaires are made through real estate, right? Everyone knows that. So my mindset was I wanted to get some cash flow. I wanted to stop working, trading dollars for hours. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's why you're looking at this video. Maybe that's why you want to invest in real estate. And I went and I bought this property, and it was a pretty good deal, so I thought. I paid $275,000 because I didn't know how to find good deals. I did really good, right, on the purchase. I got 100% financing. Back in those days, there was money all over. Money was easy. Money was pretty easy. So I got this deal, $275,000. Guess what? 1 year later, I was underwater. I was cash flowing, but I was underwater, right? Because I did what everyone else was doing, and I had this mindset of, oh my gosh, prices are going up, they're going up, I better buy whatever I can before there's nothing else for me to buy. And I reject that for you and for me. And because I had this mindset of I thought there wasn't gonna be any more, I went and I bought this property. I overpaid, and guess what happened? 2 years later, 2009, 2010, I had a realtor come in and tell me what the property's worth. It was worth 179 to, I think, 179 to 185, somewhere in between there is what the property's worth. I was almost $100,000 underwater. Let that sink in for a minute. This is the importance of, if you're gonna become a real estate investor, here, knowing this part, understanding, knowing the numbers. So what do I mean by that? So I went into this thing as an investor, as a new investor, and I went and I was Mr. Landlord, I was Mr. Fixer-Upper, I was Mr. Everything, you name it, I was everything. Not only was it a crappy job, it was a low-paying job. Right? And I hated it. And I got to a point where I hated real estate because I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have an education to understand these things. That when you buy a property, when you buy real estate, you got two choices. You can be a business owner. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You can be a business owner or you can be a business operator. There's a very big difference. I was neither. I'm gonna tell you that. I was like business freaking do it all, right? I was Mr. freaking do it all, right? I was listing the properties. I was fixing the property. I was painting. I remember going with my little kids. My kids were small back then, everybody grabbing their paint brushes. My wife, my 4 kids, and we were painting and cleaning, and boy, those were painful moments, but a lot of good lessons. But understanding your numbers, my challenge was that I didn't know how to run my business like a business. And many of you, maybe this is your experience, or maybe you know someone that's experienced this. They bought real estate and they say, oh my gosh, they got to deal with the 3 T's, right? And I was dealing with the 3 T's. 2 o'clock in the morning, toilets and tenants. I was everything. Until I got a mentor, until I got a coach, and I realized that I needed to understand these things. I needed to understand that in my numbers, this is what I teach my students, is you need to calculate from your numbers VMR. So you need to calculate vacancy, you need to calculate maintenance, and you need to calculate repairs right from the top of your rent. Then you need to put that aside every month. Right? And you need to put a property manager expense for that, right? And the property manager is the most important person in my team, right? And I need to have a property manager, and I need to put money aside for all these things. So when I need to put money aside for tax, I need to put money aside for insurance. And only if the deal works, only with all of those things, and I'm still cash flowing, after all of those things are reserved, and after all of those things are paid, only then, if it meets my criteria, only then and only then, and did I say only? Only then do I have a deal, right? Only then do I have a deal. So these are the things that you need to understand. Again, this is a little bit more advanced. This is where wealth is created, because operating by knowing and understanding these things, okay, is what sets you apart from a hobby or Mr. Landlord to a professional investor. I'm gonna repeat that, a professional investor. You don't wanna do this thing half-assed. If you wanna create cash flow and you wanna really do this big, you have to have systems and teams in place. And then lastly, number 4 is my favorite. And by the way, I've played in all 4 of these, okay? Number 4 is passive cash flow. Passive investor. Passive investor. And a passive investor does a few things. He finds partners. Maybe you don't have the time to go marketing and putting bandit signs, and you don't have the time to negotiate to be a wholesaler because you have a great career, you have a great job, right? You have something really good going for yourself and you really love it, and that's fine, but you want to invest in real estate. Maybe you don't have the time to do this either, to be a flipper, to go and manage contractors and do this and find a deal and get a partner and find this and find a realtor and all of those moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts to this. And maybe you don't even have the time for this. You don't have the bandwidth because you're traveling your job. You don't want to do anything. You know, this is great, but you like to get the benefits of this. You may not have the time, but you have the money, right? So you could become a passive investor. And what that is, basically, you find guys like myself, right? I'm a syndicator, so I buy apartment buildings. I do flips. I've played in all of these arenas. I've played in all of these arenas. Now I teach it and I still do it. So I now buy apartment buildings. You find guys like me that buy apartment buildings or that have students, right? I have a group of students that are flippers or they're wholesalers or they're doing this and they need investors. Right? And now you come as a passive investor and you loan guys like those guys or guys like myself. We're buying right now, we have a 72 unit under contract in Oklahoma City where we're giving 103% return over. So we give you your money, you double your money plus 3% in 6 years, right? With the cash flow and everything like that on a 72 unit apartment building. So yes, that's good or good, right? Yeah, there's deals like that out there. Absolutely. So you're a passive investor. You basically put your money because you don't have the time and you just cash flow. So the top of the food chain is right here. The rule in our business is those that have the money make the rules. And if you want to learn how to invest passively with myself or my group, you can just go to StrasburgREI.com and go to Partners with Us. That's StrasburgREI.com. Go to Partners with Us and get you can get to see a free webinar on how this works exactly and how we can help you get above average returns. If you want to learn how to buy and hold and you really want to get into this game and you want to do it professionally, I highly recommend that you find a mentor, you find a coach. I can offer you that. You can just, again, you can email me at m.perdomo, that's Perdomo, at elitesalesconsultinggroup.com, m.perdomo at elitesalesconsultinggroup.com, and shoot me an email. We'll schedule a 30-minute consult to see if this is a fit for you. And if you want to do any of those things, you're going to need a coach or mentor for this. But if not, just show up to our local real estate investors meetup. Show up. Listen, you beat 50% of people in this country by showing up. Show up. Go to StrasburgREI.com. Go to events. Go to see our upcoming events. We have a monthly real estate investors club. We teach every month different strategies within all of these things. We teach you. This month we have a property inspector teaching how to inspect. I mean, we're teaching. We have lenders come out teaching you how to buy loans, how to get loans with LLCs. Just come out, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, taking the time to watch this video and listening to me. Again, this is Martin Perdomo, the Elite Strategist, and like I said, don't forget to go to my website, StrasburgREI.com. Get my free ebook, Secrets to Real Estate Investing, at StrasburgREI.com. Again, Martin Perdomo, the Elite Strategist. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you.